Hello dear viewer! Today we will go back to Fulgora and I will explain how to significantly ramp up production using the Sushi belt system I recommended a month ago. If you haven't seen the first Fulgora video, you will find it in the description below. To make things easier to see, I'll mostly use my Area 51 test world, but we will eventually visit my current Fulgora base and see the concepts in action. So let's jump right in. We are using a recycling block and a Sushi belt loop that ends up back at the front of the recycling block. A splitter with input priority on the non-scrap side, in this case left, prevents the belt from clogging up. To take items from the belt, we use this splitter combination. It allows us to filter the items we need, but have clog-up protection at the same time. As an example, I make water and holmium solution. Many viewers asked how to scale this up into the late game. So let's add more recyclers and speed modules to saturate the Sushi belt and measure the amount of throughput we get. Since holmium ore is the bottleneck for all products on Fulgora, and recycling scrap is the only way to get it, I look at the consumption of scrap per minute to determine how efficient the setup is. Scrap productivity is 0 for all measurements, and keep in mind that I haven't set up all the production chains for these comparisons in my test world. Taking more items from the Sushi belt contributes to higher scrap recycling, because you free up space on the belt. The Sushi belt using red belts, as shown in the initial video, reaches a consumption of 1300 scrap per minute. The amount of holmium ore is always this value divided by 100. So we are making 13 holmium per minute, which is enough for a starter base. There are multiple ways to ramp up production. Optimization and improving the belts. Let's start by optimizing recycling. Instead of having only one recycling block for scrap and all other items combined, it's beneficial to split this up and have a dedicated scrap recycling block. Now the Sushi belt doesn't merge with the incoming scrap anymore. Instead, we merge the belts after recycling. Similar to before, give input priority to the items that already made a round trip on the Sushi belt. As you can see, this change alone doesn't increase throughput, but it has two advantages. First, mixing scrap and other items interferes with scrap productivity. Let's assume you already have 50% scrap productivity. If we recycle one scrap, the productivity bar goes to 50%. We need to recycle one more scrap to actually get an extra bonus item. But if the next item picked up isn't scrap, the productivity is lost. Second, we can modify the content of the recycled scrap belt before merging it with the actual main Sushi belt. This opens up possibilities for optimization. Ice and solid fuel only serve one purpose on Fulgora, making water and rocket fuel. So instead of putting them on the main Sushi belt, we can instantly filter them out. To make sure no ice and rocket fuel will ever end up in our loop, we create a single dedicated recycler for both to get rid of excess items. Removing both items frees up 12% of our scrap recycling belt. Additionally, we can prevent gears from merging with the main Sushi belt. 20% of scrap recycling items are gears, and they are not needed for Fulgora Science Pack or any other Fulgora exclusive item. We only need gears for handcrafting and mold purposes. So let's filter them out immediately, make a couple hundred gears available to the logistic network and then recycle them into iron plates before merging them with the main Sushi belt loop. Suddenly our scrap recycling rate has improved from 1300 to 1900. Next up, replacing red fast transport belts with blue express belts. This upgrade is a very obvious improvement. 50% more belt speed. And producing express belts is very easy on Fulgora, because we basically get gears and lubricant from heavy oil for free. Now we are at 2900 scrap recycled per minute. What if we upgrade to express belts without the previous optimization steps? We reach close to 2000 per minute. The next step is using turbo belts from volcanoes. 33% more belt speed results in 33% more scrap recycling. That's 3900 or close to 4000 per minute. This is where you will probably start having trouble with the amount of recyclers needed. So let's add optimization for recycling speed. There are two items that slow us down significantly: steel and concrete. Both have a really long recycling time. Maybe we can turn these items into something else with high crafting and recycling speed. 8 steel can be turned into 1 steel chest with a base 0.5 crafting time. And 10 concrete can be turned into 10 hazard concrete in base 0.25 seconds. Recyclers will trash them in no time, and it's actually insane how fast you can delete these products. This optimization doesn't increase throughput, but it is a godsend for the scale of our recycling block. We are already using the fastest belts possible, but there's also item stacking on belts. If you unlock this amazing technology from Glebber, this could potentially quadruple our throughput. Recyclers are able to kinda output items stacked, but not really. They don't act like the big mining drill, always outputting a full stack of 4. And because the items recycled are in random order anyway, this can't work very well. We sometimes get additional layers of items, but it's not consistent. Throughput increases a little bit from 4K to 4.2K. But I want full build stacking. So I came up with a plan. Recyclers can directly output into steel chests, and then we use stack inserters to stack the belt. Unfortunately, inserters will grab the last item added to the chest, and this can be a rare item like holmium ore, and then it takes ages to assemble a full stack. Long story short, it doesn't work. Items will accumulate in the chest and clog up. We need to solve this using circuit logic, so I made this little blueprint. A dedicated decider combinator for each chest reads the chest's contents and then determines for each signal if it is equal to or greater than 16. If so, the combinator outputs every signal that meets this condition. The inserter is configured to set filters, which means it will only start grabbing specific items when a signal for that item is present. And it works. We now have fully stacked belts. After adding belt stacking to all recyclers, we reach 16,000 scrap recycled per minute. But who says we are only allowed to use one single sushi belt? Why not make it a double sushi belt? With 2 belts we could reach 32,000 scrap per minute. To make it happen, I had to design a new parameterized splitter blueprint to take items from the double belt. I'm using it for holmium and stone in this little example. Let's take a look at my current Fulgora base, and I'll show you the double sushi belt and all the optimizations and upgrades in action. I'm mining scrap at 2 locations using quality modules. 3 trains are transporting it to the main base. 2,400 rare accumulators store energy harvested by over 50 rare lightning collectors. Actually, everything in this base that benefits from quality is rare, so I won't mention it going forward. The train unloader looks a bit weird because I want to use belt stacking and I need to take care of 3 quality tiers. Stacked scrap recycling with quality modules. And here you can see the separation of gears, ice and solid fuel using the double belt filter blueprint. Destroying excess products and production of water and rocket fuel. Let's follow the double sushi belt to my holmium solution and plates production, using foundries for extra productivity. Making electrolyte and the electromagnetic science pack. I'm using a lot of rare beacons with level 3 speed modules and full level 3 productivity modules. Producing rare electromagnetic plants, rare Tesla turrets for Glebber and Norvis, and down here is a mall for the production of other rare items. Another mall for normal products that don't benefit from quality, and this is the recycling optimization where we get rid of steel and concrete. Finally, the insanely large main recycling block. I use rare quality modules here, which is why I cannot use speed modules or beacons. If you don't care about making quality items, this could be way smaller. Finally, I tried to find out how much science I can produce. To ramp up production, I used the editor to get legendary beacons and speed modules. After destroying science packs with an infinity chest, I was able to reach over 1000 science per minute. Until I encountered a loss of energy. My scrap recycling rate is 12k, but I have plus 100 scrap productivity. And there's still a lot of room for improvement. I don't use quality productivity modules yet, and if a double sushi belt is possible, why not make a quadruple sushi belt in the future? Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. I wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. You will find the blueprints for the splitters and the recycler stacking in the description below. Thanks, bye.